but I'm,
We'll call this meeting to order. This is for our solid waste ordinance, public comment period. If anybody would like to make a public comment on the solid waste ordinance, step up to the podium and state your name and address, or you can call in at 276-333-0357.
Is this one yours?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, the solid waste ordinance that we're doing the public hearing
I
on.
have two of those sheets, one for the
Okay, sorry.
amendment and
The,
one for
the public hearing there that we're doing, the solid waste ordinance, the basic changes that are being made in this proposed ordinance right now would be to implement a fee for the emptying of governmental dumpsters. Every time that a dumpster is emptied, there would be a $36 fee, which is the same amount that Buchanan County currently charges. And this would impact, it would not impact like the county-funded agencies like schools, like the schools, DSS, behavioral health, county, IDA, any that we directly fund, but any other governmental agency within the county, there would be a fee of $36 for emptying their dumpsters. This is the same fee that we charge when we rent dumpsters, $36 to empty them, and it's the same fee that Buchanan County charges. Buchanan County charges it for all commercial dumpsters as well, but this would just be for the governmental for us. That's the main change in our ordinance. Is that correct, Mr.
That is
Circle?
correct.
Okay.
Yes. The ordinance specifically states that this charge shall not be applicable to any exclusively controlled Dickinson County agency or entity.
So we're good with that
But
language.
there's an exemption there.
Yeah. It all stays the same, except for mine waste, tipping fees.
Well, no, it's a different, different line item on that, the rates, but.
We'll leave this public comment period open for just a little bit here. Again, if you want to call in, it's 276-333-0357.
I haven't got time to eat.
I ate a tomato mayonnaise sandwich
Mm,
about 1 o'clock. Then I had a few bites of
That's all enough.
pasta salad a little bit after that. And that's all I've ate since.
I'm not eating that.
It don't look like we want to get anybody. We got anybody on the phone?
Anybody on this ordinance?
If it's okay with everybody, I'll close this public comment period and entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll second. Thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Motion passes. This next hearing to order. And this is a public hearing for the fiscal year 2026 budget amendment. Mr. Barton, you got
Thank you,
anything
Mr.
to-
Chair. I'll share some information. Of course, we've advertised for an amendment to our fiscal year 2026 budget. Our general fund budget, we're adding $1,273,500 in revenue. This is for grant funding from the Appalachian Regional Commission, the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development, Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services, and the Virginia Opioid Abatement Authority. For that additional revenue that went in, there was offsetting expenditures added for construction and other related costs with grant-funded projects and salaries and benefits for the DCJS School Resource Officer grant that offset against that. On the E911 budget, we had a $630,000 increase in revenues that was added to the budget. And this was added as a result of grant funding from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management for upgrades that they have done for software, equipment, furnishings, and other related costs with these grant-funded projects. So that's the two added amounts to the budgets, and then within some of our line items, there's some expenditure cleanups as well. So, but I'll entertain any questions that the board has, or it is open for public comment. So.
All right, so we'll take public comment. If anybody wants to come up to the podium, state your name, address, or if you need to call in, it's 276-333-0357. Anybody got any questions for Mr. Barton? He does a great job with the county's budget.
Took him a while.
Even when the state drags their feet.
Putting us in a bad place.
Did she sign it today, or?
Not that I've
She's
heard
got
about.
7
I'm not
days
following
to
the news.
file.
She's got 7 days to sign. Of course, it's next year's budget, but she also has the power to line out a veto, but I kind of think everything will be signed as it is. So we'll have to make some changes to our budget we're going to be adopting tonight, after those state changes. It's going to impact the schools probably more than anybody else with additional funding for them.
They're getting additional funding.
They're going to get additional about, from what Delegate Moorfield sent me today, about a 4.5% increase in funding overall. Their main funding is about a $1 million change, and then in some other categories like $59,000 in one, and school construction is about $120,000 difference. And school employees are going from a 2% state increase to a 4% state increase. And of course, on our side and the state side, the compensation board employees are going from a 2% to a 3.5% in those positions. So, of course, that happened yesterday, 8 days before the end of the year. It's not formally been signed by the governor, but once it is, then we'll have to take action to amend our budget. And I spoke with Ms. Robinson and Ms. Edwards, their director of finance, yesterday, as far as information, and they don't have detailed information either, but as soon as they get it, they'll share that with me, so we'll have what we need. So I think we're all kind of scrambling right now to get the information needed and get everything pulled together with July 1st deadline looming on us here. So
Right down in the 11th hour for budgets, for counties' budgets. Good.
Oh. Hope all right.
So,
Mr. Mullins, nobody on the phone or no calls?
this is our way of voting later.
It is, there should be 2 scheduled for 26 and 1 for.
Yeah, I was gonna do one more call. We got some people come in there, Tanya,
That's what I thought.
make sure they didn't wanna. And I'll make one more call for, public comment on the fiscal year 2026 budget amendment. If anybody'd like to make a comment?
Write it down.
I know.
I don't think we're gonna get anybody. Well,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we close this public hearing.
thank you.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
As well. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn the public hearing.
Thank you, Ms. Willis.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Thursby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Looks like we got about 5 minutes before Mr. Barton, would you
Nice
mind
to
to
be
lead
here.
us
I'll be
in
glad to.
prayer?
Let's all pray. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you once again this evening, Lord, and Lord, just ask your blessing upon our meeting, Lord, your blessing upon our county. Lord, I just pray that your will be done. I pray that you'll be with all of those that are lost, those that are sick, those that are afflicted, Lord. Lord, we just lift them up to you. Lord, be with our members today, Lord, as they hear information and make decisions that affects our county and affects our residents, Lord. I just pray for wisdom for them and that you provide us with guidance and leadership, Lord. Lord, it's all these things we ask in your sweet Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, if everybody would stand. Mr. Thacker, would you mind to lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we would like to recognize the Ridgeview High School girls tennis team for winning the state championship. So that was wonderful. Undefeated, I have to say,
Yeah.
undefeated.
Quite the accomplishment, so.
Yes, it is.
They,
Miss Luss is going to read off the names and do this presentation for us.
Mr. Chair, if we could ask them to come up.
yeah, well, but
Yeah.
I don't know how many's here, but Adam, you're here,
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
here. I have a couple
And the
of girls
Dingus
with me.
girl.
Unfortunately, many of our girls are away on
Right,
vacation.
vacation, yeah, I understand. We thought
Yeah,
about,
just come right around here.
we thought of postponing it till July, but they'd be on vacation
Same
too.
situation, yeah.
But all of us are very proud of what you girls accomplished. I guess that's the first state championship of any sport. Is that right, at Ridgeview?
No, I think they've won a basketball and they won a volleyball.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the first tennis one, yeah.
Okay.
That's for sure.
So the girls came here, we have this plaque for you. They were Mountain 7 district champions. They were Region 2D champions, Class 2 girls tennis state champions. They have a record of 22-0, undefeated. And I think another recognition goes to Danica Sutherland to win the Region 2D individual doubles tournament and advancing to the Class 2 state doubles final, finishing as state runners-up. Didn't you? You're the. I always get the Dingus girls mixed up.
I'm Jada, I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Didn't you go to? Didn't you get something additional? Thought you did. Well, your sister helped coach too, didn't she?
Yeah, she's assistant coach.
Yeah. Okay. This is for. Maybe you'll see that people get this.
Oh, we will.
Well, yeah, this is Adrienne Potter,
I'll take
Kylie Owens.
it. All on vacation.
Well, I understand. My family is too. Kinsley Yates,
I'll take it.
Callista Compton. I believe that's Jason's. Is that
It is,
Jason's
yeah.
daughter?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Danica Sutherland, that's John Sutherland's daughter and his wife. What is her first name?
Yeah.
Josie Hill, she's a senior. I forgot to say what, you seem like you got a lot of freshmen on your team. You're gonna get-
4 freshmen and 4 seniors, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scotland Bowens, she's a senior. Oh, Scotland, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you graduated Ryan. I met you.
Yeah.
And Jada Dingus, I'm sure you get.
Thank you.
Thank you. And J.C. Dingus, I don't know why they named you all. Because your daddy's name's Jason, and Jennifer Dingus, and Mr. Adam Smith, and I congratulate you, and can we have a picture made with you?
Sure.
Let's go.
All those girls will be too.
Won't you
If y'all can
clap?
step up, if y'all can step up on the stage here, board members, if y'all can come up with them and stand around them here.
David, can you take a picture?
Casey's gonna do it for you.
Casey?
Yep.
Get it there.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sure will.
They're pop back. You're right on the edge. Scoot on over here. I'll get right here in the middle. That's your-
One more big round of applause.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take a seat, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You did a great job,
Thank you. I
Adam.
appreciate it.
I took tennis one of my first quarter in college. I could knock the ball way over the fence, but I couldn't get it where it's supposed to go. Okay.
See if you give me a shot in the
Thank you.
knee.
Thank you, Miss
They're
Love.
just
Thank
That was
you,
wonderful.
Mr. Hall.
Go ahead and grease down with some. It didn't help me.
All right, down to number 2, approval of the minutes. And I think we can take all these at one time if the board wishes to. That's the May 6th budget workshop, the May 26th public hearing for the fiscal year 27 proposed 6-year plan, Sand Lake Polling location, ordinance to pay bonus, and the May 26th regular meeting and the June 2nd public hearing.
You wanna do them all at one time?
Yes, please. Wonderful.
Okay, if there's no corrections or changes or anything, I make a motion that we approve all of them at one time.
Thank you, Ms. Sluss.
I'll second.
Thank you. Or Miss Willis, so, sorry about
You're
that.
fine.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
You know, it used
Aye
to
as
be
well.
in your eye.
Aye as
Me and
well.
Richard had other problems
Yeah, you all
last
had
month.
a lot going on, haven't you?
We were across the hall from each other.
We're glad you're back.
Yes,
Me too.
definitely are. All right, number 3, approval of the agenda. Do you have any?
No changes or deletions.
That's a first, isn't it?
In a while.
In a
hasn't
while.
it? So,
I think I don't see the sheriff here, so I think we can take all these at one time also.
Approve the agenda.
I make a
Approve the-
motion
oh,
that we approve
Approve
the
the agenda.
agenda as presented.
Thank you,
I'll second it.
thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Now go.
Now the consent agenda. Thank you, Ms. Rollins, keeping me straight.
Do you want to take all those at one time?
Yes, please.
I make a motion that we approve all of the consent agenda.
A
And if
through-
anybody has any questions, they can
A through I.
speak up, I guess.
All right,
I
we
make
got a motion
we
to accept
approve all of them.
all the consent agenda, A through I.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? That one passes. Now we're down to public comments. If anybody has a public comment, please step up to the podium, state your name and address, and if you need to call in, it's 276-333-0357.
Mr. Sturgill will read our.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
read the rules.
I forgot that.
There shall be a time limit for each individual speaker of 3 minutes. A representative of a group may have up to 5 minutes to make a presentation. Speakers are not permitted to donate time to other speakers. No speaker's time shall be extended except by unanimous consent or a 2/3 vote of the board members present. Prohibited conduct. Persons appearing before the board will not be allowed to campaign for public office, promote private business ventures, use profanity, use language which insults or demeans any person and/or when directed at a public official or employee when not related to his or her official duties. However, citizens have the right to comment on the performance, conduct, and qualifications of public figures, make frivolous statements, interrupt other speakers, or engage in behavior that disrupts the meeting, engage in behavior that intimidates others, or address the board on issues that do not concern the services, policies, or affairs of the county.
Thank you, Mr. Sturgill. Sorry for skipping you. If anybody has a comment, please step up. 276-333-0357 is the phone number.
Uh-oh. Sent me a picture of a boat. Sorry.
All right, I don't think anybody, we got any phone calls? We'll close the public hearing. Don't see anybody coming up. That gives us down to number 6, the raft, stormwater and floor plain policy presentation from Kate Garmer.
Is that the one
We're
that's
going to
on?
the movies.
Mr. Chair, while Mr. Mullins is getting this set up for us, just a little background on this. Dickinson County's been actively engaged in a resilience and recovery planning through participation in a RAFT, or Regional Adaptation Feasibility Tool process, for many months now. And as part of this effort, the RAFT Ordinance Committee has been reviewing current ordinances and making recommendations to any updates that may be needed. Kate Garmer is a UVA law student and has been working with the RAFT team to review some of these ordinances, and will be doing a virtual presentation with us here today on her findings and recommendations. And of course, these are just recommendations for the board's consideration that you can look at, anything that you'd want to consider doing at a future meeting. So,
Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Turn down. She here? Kate here?
Welcome to Google Meet. Enter the meeting pin followed by the pound key. Thank you. Use your phone to listen and speak to the meeting. Gemini is participating in the call, answering questions and analyzing content. Other participants can remove Gemini from the call.
Hello, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
wait, Chris, give her an introduction.
Yeah. Hello, Kate. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. I think we're all set up
We're
there for
ready
your
for you,
presentation.
Perfect. Do I need to book the presentation or do you have all of that on your end?
We have it on our end, so.
Perfect. I cannot see it from my end, so I'm not sure what slide it will be on, if there's a way to share it.
You share it, Adam. Adam's working on that right now, Kate, so.
Perfect, thank you. Well, in the meantime, I can give a quick introduction. So my name is Catherine Garmer. I'm a rising third-year law student at the University of Virginia School of Law. And as one of my classes this past semester, I took a conservation planning and law course where I worked with the UVA Institute of Engagement and Negotiation on their work with Dickinson County, particularly focusing on the floodplain management and stormwater management ordinances that the county staff had been considering looking at. And so this presentation is part of that work that I did to lay out some opportunities to explore different areas for improved resiliency in floodplain management and then the stormwater ordinance program. Perfect, okay. I think I can see it now. Let me very quickly make sure I have it up on my end as well. Great, and then
in terms of, should I just let you know when I need it flipped over to the next slide?
That'd be great. Yes, please.
Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, so the presentation is on the floodplain stormwater management policy research that I did, focusing on how it can be used in Dickinson County and what could be used for the county to improve its resiliency. So you can go to the next slide, please. This is a quick disclaimer. I'm a law student. I'm not an attorney or a lawyer, and this was prepared through one of my classwork. So if there's any questions or if this is being used to make any future decisions, I'm just encouraging you to seek the advice of your counsel from the county. Go to the next slide. So there were two components to this project that I focused on. The first was on the floodplain ordinances. So I explored new draft ordinance language that would incorporate greater flood resiliency standards. So this included reviewing the Department of Conservation and Recreation model ordinances that they provide for all counties to use as sort of a structure for their county ordinances. I compared this to the existing Dickinson County ordinance and noted some areas of potential improvement or heightened standards that have been adopted by the state since the county last updated its ordinances. I also spoke with other counties about their floodplain management, so I focused on getting a pretty wide range of perspectives from across the state, both looking in counties like Gloucester County and Rico County, Wise and City of Norton, to make sure that there was a pretty wide range of viewpoints and see what worked for them and why it worked for them, especially with the varying topographies across the state. And then incorporated recommended higher standards and provided the justifications for those higher standards. So not just this is a higher standard, but why would this particularly be beneficial for Dickinson County? The second component was stormwater management. So I provided information on the county's options for managing stormwater permitting. This included examining the Erosion and Stormwater Management Act provisions that allocated the authority to the county to either run their own program or have DEQ run it. I also spoke again with multiple counties across the state who chose to become the ES&D authorities about their successes and their setbacks, and tried to provide a list of options with specific considerations for the county on the time, workload, cost, and the potential impact of those different options for their stormwater management. You can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So for the floodplain ordinances, the DCR provides a model floodplain ordinance, and this is what the county's current ordinance is based on this, with some modifications that are county specific. The model ordinance itself actually encourages heightened standards to meet the specific risks that different localities face. So for localities that are more prone to ravines and flooding, they have heightened standards that they suggest for those, as well as heightened standards for coastal localities. So I took a bunch of conversations with floodplain officials from the other counties to highlight relevant additions that could be beneficial for this county in particular. And then the edits to the model ordinance that were suggested in my white paper are composed of both DCR's recommendations and recommendations that have been adopted from other localities' ordinances. Can you go to the next slide, please? So this is just the general provision in the beginning of the model ordinance suggesting that there are heightened standards, not only that can be adopted, but are encouraged to be adopted by different localities. And then you can go to the next slide, please. So this is an example of one of the DCR suggested heightened standards. So for things like residential construction, they talk about how there's a base flood elevation. It should be elevated to the base flood level, and then they also suggest a plus 18-inch additional elevation. And the justification for this would be that there is a county official experience in floodplain management that said changes like this are incredibly important because FEMA maps are almost always outdated by the time that they come to the county, even if they're recent map updates. This comes from the fact that they're almost always based on outdated data and modeling platforms that don't actually represent the current flood risks, even when they're the most recent maps. And so having this sort of barrier and buffer built in ensures that your ordinances are actually protecting what the current flood risk is and not what has been calculated based on backwards-looking data, not forward-looking data. Next slide, please. And then this would be an example of a locality-suggested heightened standard, which would be adding something like dryland access. So any new roads, driveways, or parking areas that are located in the special flood hazard area have to be constructed so that they won't be overtopped by more than 6 inches of water during the 100-year flood in that 1% flood zone area. And this was a provision that was recommended by a county official to protect the public safety, because a lot of information online available from NOAA and from other state and federal agencies shows that 6 inches of water is enough to carry, is to cause an adult to fall, or it'll reach the bottom of most passenger vehicles, which can cause loss of control or stalling. And this is to ensure that there is emergency vehicle access during flood events, which can be particularly important to public safety. And so it's something that can be added to the ordinance to especially focus on areas that need emergency access, especially in cases of bridges or parking areas, to ensure that this is protecting the public safety adequately. You can go to the next slide, please. Then moving on to the stormwater management component. Some background on this is that the state originally passed the Virginia Stormwater Management Act in 2014. They amended this in 2016 to create the Virginia Erosion and Stormwater Management Act, the VESMA. This didn't actually become effective, though, until 2024, when the State Water Control Board promulgated the regulations that were required to make it effective. And this offers localities 3 different options for their stormwater management program. Next slide, please. So the 3 options are, the first is to become a VESMP authority. So under this, Dickinson County would manage both their erosion and their stormwater management programs. This includes managing the inspection, plan review, and enforcement components of that stormwater program.
Uh-oh,
Right?
we lost you for just a second, but I think you're back.
Perfect. The second option is the VESMP Light option. So in this way, Dickinson County manages the inspection and enforcement of their stormwater management program, but the Department of Environmental Quality will handle plan reviews themselves, which are often some of the most kind of time-consuming components. And then the third option is to continue to have DEQ run the entire program. So they'll continue to handle the inspection, plan review, and enforcement of stormwater permits, which is what Dickinson County has currently had as their option. Next slide, please. So the first option is to opt into becoming a VESMP authority. There are some significant benefits to this, and that first main one is that Dickinson County would have a lot more control over the permitting timeline, which could potentially speed up development in the county, because you're not going to be reliant on DEQ timelines for plan review. So there's a lot more county control over the entire process, not just in the inspection and enforcement components, but also in that really time-consuming plan review process. There are, however, a lot of considerations to this, which is first, to run this program, you would have to have a certified stormwater inspector and plan reviewer. This is a time-intensive and costly certification, and it can be somewhat difficult to find someone to have on staff. However, the VESMA permits counties to contract with other localities or hire outside consultants for plan review. So if there are surrounding localities that might have someone on board or on staff, there's a possibility that you can contract with them to have that certification, that certified staff on the books. There's also an increased workload on the official that's going to be responsible for managing the program, because these plan reviews and permitting timelines, permitting processes can be a lot more work intensive. And so it's important to consider what the current workload of the individual who would be responsible for the program is, to ensure that they would have the capacity to run the program in a way that would actually speed up that timeline and have a significant benefit to development in the county. And you also need to fund the program and assess the appropriate fees. So even though you'd be running your own program, 28% of the permit fees go to DEQ. The VESMA does allow counties to assess additional fees on top of the kind of baseline required fees for the permit. However, this isn't something that many, if any, localities have chosen to do, because since if no one else is assessing additional fees and one county is, it's going to deter development from going to that county over one that doesn't assess those additional fees. So it's pretty uncommon to have any additional fees on top of what the baseline permit is. And so figuring out how to fund the program and if there's sufficient funding for the program is a significant consideration as well. Can we go to the next slide, please? The next is the VESMP Light option. This is where Dickinson County does the inspection and enforcement components, but DEQ handles that plan review. The benefits of this are that DEQ does take on the most work and time-intensive aspect, which reduces a lot of the workload on Dickinson County officials. And the county still retains that control over the inspection process and enforcement protocols, which can cut down on some of the timeline, especially in the inspection phase. There are some significant considerations. This was not an option until the VESMA became in effect in 2024. And so there are no localities that have chosen this route yet. And so DEQ doesn't have any model ordinances or any fees assessed. And so compared to that 28% fee in the running year program entirely, it's unclear how much they would take it percentage-wise from the total fees. You do still need a staff member with an inspector certification. You don't have to have that plan review certification, but typically those are done together in kind of a combined program and certification course. And so you would still have to find someone with that inspector certification. And then the plan review timeline is still entirely up to DEQ, and so you don't have quite as much control over accelerating the process as you might get out of the VESMP, having run your own VESMP program. Next slide, please. And then the final option is just to continue to have DEQ run the program, essentially the status quo. The benefits to this are that you don't need to keep a certified inspector or plan reviewer on staff. It's definitely a reduced workload for the county compared to the other two options. And then the major consideration here is that a lot of the counties that I spoke to became VESMP authorities back in 2014. And back in 2014, DEQ was much slower at processing permits and plan reviews. And DEQ has accelerated that permitting timeline significantly in the last few years to somewhere around 90 to 130 days, depending on the locality and the type of permit that's being worked on. And so it might actually be somewhat better than it was in the past compared to when I was speaking with officials who were saying it had significantly sped up their timelines. Definitely to compare what the county would be capable of in terms of the number of days for plan review or inspection and compare that to what DEQ's numbers are. And in the white paper that hopefully has made its way to you all, there is a source, an online database that DEQ uses to track the permitting processing timelines. That can be a very helpful comparison tool. And then the consideration for this is that that permit processing timeline might align with your preferred timeline as a county. And so you'll want to do that kind of analysis of how fast could the county move versus how DEQ is currently moving to see if it's worth it at all to have DEQ continue to run the program. Next slide, please. So the next steps that I had suggested were to review the proposed and ordinances and the justifications to evaluate if they meet the needs and vulnerabilities of the county. These are obviously all just very broad level suggestions that can be taken or not, or taken in part or not, but hopefully provide at least some level of additional information for you all. And then reviewing the current permitting and processing timelines and evaluate if that accelerated processing timeline justifies the cost to the county, both monetary, but also time and workload of running your own VESMP. And then encouraging looking into the National Flood Insurance Program policies among property owners and into potentially, very much down the line in the future, the community rating system credits, which if the floodplain ordinances are adopted to the state level, there's actually a very good chance the county would be eligible for a lot of those credits that could, if more homeowners participate in the NFIP, see real economic benefits for the county. And then next slide. And then happy to answer any and all questions that you all may have based on that.
Very good presentation.
Yeah, very good.
Very
Anybody have any
I
questions?
have a question.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Is Chris Wright, doesn't have this kind of thing?
He does not.
Well, the Department of Environmental Quality can be somewhat difficult to work with sometimes. They have really come down hard on us in Dickinson County in the last few years, I think. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes I don't think it's necessary. And we're a poor county, and to wait, I just would hope that they can understand that DEQ needs to speed up their process of things that they do. Sometimes, it used to be they were a lot faster than they are now. That's on comment I have. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anybody else?
How long has she been studying, putting this together?
I'm so sorry, I think you just cut out.
Hey, I think she did.
Pardon?
What'd she say?
I said, how long had you been working on this to put this presentation, your study and presentation?
Yeah, so I started in January, working with IEN, and spent most of January and February interviewing officials in other counties and doing a lot of the background research onto like the BDSMA and all the legislation underlying all of this, and then spent most of March and April putting together the white paper and digging a little bit further into a lot of the DEQ timeline and permitting process and all of the justifications for the floodplain ordinance. So from about January to May.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
That's
Very
good.
amazing.
Lot of
Mr. Chair, I'd
time.
like to say, Kate has been wonderful to work with. We've consulted with her quite a bit, and she's brought a resource to us that a small county like Dickinson would never be able to have an in-depth look at this and see how we can try to better improve our ordinances and how we can try to get in a better place. We're very, very grateful for your help with that. So,
Yeah, I had no idea the options that we had available to us, really.
Hope you got an A in that class. Did you get an A in that class?
No.
You can't hear me.
She asked if you got an A in the class.
Yes, I did well in the class, thank you. Really a highlight of my my law school experience so far to get to work with the county, and it's working with Dana and Larry was such a very fun and exciting experience because it was so much more practical than so much of what I had done, and being able to provide this information to you all and hopefully it's helpful. It's been such a great experience, and I was very excited to get to present to you all today.
well, thank you very much for taking the time to present to us. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was wonderful, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to Ian, I think was on the call as well.
Yes. Yeah. Ian, Amanda, and the whole team's been great to work with.
Is that all of it?
Everyone else has left the call.
All right. Where we at?
Resolution.
Turn the page.
Bring us to 7A, Mr.
That's a
Chair.
pretty good report just from May. I mean, just from January.
You put a lot of work into it.
And we're down to resolutions, which would be with the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority, and I'd like to welcome two of our outstanding regional leaders here today. Mr. Dwayne Miller, the Executive Director of Lenowisco Planning District, and the Honorable William Wampler Jr., former Virginia State Senator and interim project coordinator of the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority. So,
When does the interim word expire? Just curious.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, an honor to be here tonight, and I want to say personally, if I may, thank you for your service. You spend a lot of hours, and I have also been on that side of the table before, and sometimes you meet yourself coming in the middle of the night, and I think I have a little appreciation for what you're doing, and I just say that as sincerely as I can. Thank you, and I know that Dickinson County thanks you for what you do. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, others, I'm William Wampler. I represent the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority, or what we refer to as the RIFA. The RIFA is comprised of 5 localities: Lee, Scott, Wise, Norton, and Dickinson. And I would remind the board that you have previously been admitted to the RIFA by your own ordinance, meaning you are a full standing member of the RIFA. The reason we're here tonight is to bring you good news, and Dwayne will follow me here in a moment with checks. We have what I would call a little bit of housekeeping to do in order to get those checks in the proper order to present to you. So without trespassing on what your all's business is, I would refresh you on your agenda. You have 4 resolutions before you. It was the will of the RIFA board to suggest that the county reaffirm its membership in the RIFA, because and that would be the first resolution. The second resolution, based upon the recommendation of the RIFA board, which you have 2 members, Dana and Larry, wherein the board said that we are going to propose to share revenue based upon 7 shares, divided with equal weight amongst each member, and that Dickinson County, for these 2 projects, would be entitled to 1/7 of the revenue that's generated from those 2 buildings. which would be resolutions number 3 and 4. We have 2 buildings that currently are occupied, that have been constructed and are occupied by businesses, the first being Earthlink, an internet services provider, which employment levels are roughly about 80 folks working there today. They've been around for almost 2 years in that building. And then the last building, the newest building and newest tenant to the industrial park is WARP Technology, W-A-R-P, a public safety company that uses de-escalation techniques, and they manufacture, their world manufacturing headquarters is in Norton. They've been in the building less than a year, and their employment levels now are about 12, but they keep growing, and as they work through inventory, we recruited them from Phoenix. So buildings 1 and 2 would be Earthlink at 28,000 square feet, that aligns with your resolution, and then the WARP Technology, which is the 20,000 square foot building. So what we're doing tonight, if you approve all of those, would be to return your annual contribution to the RIFA of $5,500, and then we said out of our cash flow that we would propose to return an additional $4,500 to you tonight for a total of $10,000. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself on this and likely should not do it, but I do know that the real estate tax assessment for those 2 buildings were assessed by the city of Norton, and they have been received by the treasurer of the city of Norton. And once we complete our circuit, which will be through with Scott County on July 1st, with everybody concurring, hopefully, then we would be able, in a position as soon as the city of Norton treasurer is ready, that we would provide additional disbursement on the 1/7 basis for whatever real estate tax assessment has actually been realized. Now, I know that's a mouthful and a lot, but it's a busy time, and that's the model. And the good news is we're employing people, and we're actually realizing revenue in the form of taxation that will be coming back to the member localities. Now, I don't want to overwear my welcome, Mr. Chairman, and I would look to Dana and to Larry as your duly designated members. That is the story as best I know to tell it, and would be happy to answer any questions. And after you go through your exercise, I'm sure Mr. Miller would like to give you his checks, or give you the RIFA checks, rather. So any questions on those, Mr. Chairman, whatever the pleasure of the board would be?
All right, anybody got any questions for Mr. Walker? Now, it was my understanding that none of the counties had any monetary.
Great question. So the basis for the cash basis for the development was basically grants. Dwayne and his crew, before I came on board, actually were able to pull rabbit out of the hat, catch lightning in a jar, and we were able to create about $30 million worth of capital investment at Project Intersection, basically because it was a regional project. Individually, the city of Norton, I would say, would likely not be able to have captured, but together as a region, we were able to do that. And that's why we were able to offer a reduced lease rate. And quite frankly, that was what closed the deal with the 2 prospects, was to be able to offer a reduced rate. So now we're just trying to find the reserve to make sure we have operating and maintenance going forward, so there'd be no assessments, so forth.
Great job, man. Great job.
Well,
Mr. Sheriff, I don't think the people in Dickinson County really understand that you're gonna give us give them a $10,000 check for.
You'll pass 4 resolutions first.
Well, I'm gonna pass this resolution. I believe they'll pass.
So that's the model of the RIFA, is to do it on a regional basis and not fight amongst each other for a crumb. And I don't mean to trivialize something that's mighty important, but you have 2 great representatives on the board that looks out for Dickinson County's interest. I promise you that. And so, the rising tide lifts all, so to speak, and that's what we're trying to do here. And it's proved successful, and we have a couple of other prospects in the pipeline, but I tell you, it's tough going out there right now. But we get up and go after it every day.
So that Norton gets 2/7, right?
They do, because they're the host locality, offering mostly with police and fire, and other public service that would come along with it from the PSA and so forth.
And this is a tax assessment of the,
So what we're giving
Buildings?
you today is basically cash. We're returning your annual contribution that we use to cash flow the organization. In other words, we booked enough to where we think we can return your contribution and say thank you. And then we've realized out of other revenues, and not necessarily tax, but other revenues, we feel comfortable in returning you more. And then I hope, once the treasurer is able to determine the valuation, we able to write you, that'll be up to the board, but we hope to be able to write you another check as soon as the treasurer submits it and we have a board meeting, which we do every quarter. Does that answer your question or
sure,
help?
yes, yes.
Okay.
They bring nothing but good news.
They are, I like
That's
this
good
guy.
news, don't we?
Yeah.
Light bearers are good news.
All right.
Any other questions? You have to put Dwayne in the hot seat there
Y'all go ahead. and
We have
approve
to
the
pass a
resolution.
resolution.
You want me to pass all this stuff before you?
However you want to do it, I'll go ahead. I don't mind one
Yeah,
bit.
let's go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
You wanna go ahead and pass
Let's
them
go ahead and do
first?
our resolutions and then.
All right,
We'll pass it.
we'll do it, hopefully. So, Resolution 7A, confirming the membership of the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority.
Mr. Chair, I'll add to that, of course, as Mr. Wampler shared with us previously, back in 2017 when the RIFA was organized, we're grateful that the Lonesome Pine PDC, when they organized that, allowed Dickinson County to join. It's been a great benefit to us, a great team, a great group to work with. Everyone that we serve with is very interested in the regional success of all the counties, all the member localities. So we're already a member, but as a RIFA board, we felt it was best to go around because I think Shelby's probably the only member on our board right now that was around in 2017 when this was originally adopted. So we thought it would be good to come around, reaffirm that. So that's our first item to take up is this resolution reaffirming our membership. So.
We'll need a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution by Dickinson County Board of Supervisors confirming membership with the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facility Authority.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? That one passes. Down to 7B, the Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority Revenue Sharing Agreement.
Mr. Chair, as Mr. Wampler shared with us previously, this is our standard revenue sharing agreement. There's 7 parts to that. The 5-member localities each get a share. The host locality gets an additional share, and then the RIFA, of course, we have operating costs we have to cover, so the RIFA gets a share. And this is kind of the base revenue sharing agreement. Each project is going to have its own agreement based on if each member locality wants to participate or if there were to be any cash match that goes in. But the base agreement is 7 shares, so that's what we're asking to be approved today is this resolution. So
I make a motion that the resolution to enter into Lonesome Pine Regional Industrial Facilities Authority Revenue Sharing Agreement.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? 7C, approving the Regional Industrial Facilities Revenue Sharing Agreement, Building 1.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Building 1, we have down as the 28,000 square foot facility, which is where Earthlink is located. This is the first building that was built at Project Intersection. As Mr. Wampler shared, currently occupied by Earthlink. They have 80-some employees currently. They're trying to grow that number. Hiring is difficult, as we all know. We go through those same issues here, trying to hire, so, they can definitely grow and handle a whole lot more employees, but they're at that point right now. This is the revenue sharing that's particular to that building, to that project, and it lists in here, the city of Norton being the host locality is 2 shares, Lee County 1 share, Wise County 1 share, Scott County 1 share, Dickinson County 1 share, and the authority wouldn't share. So as we said, each project has its own agreement, so this actually mirrors the standard agreement, so we're just asking that be approved tonight.
So we need a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution approving the Regional Industrial Facility Revenue Sharing Agreement for the 28,000 square foot building at Project Intersection, Norton, Virginia.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Seven D, the approval for the Regional Industrial Facilities of Revenue Sharing Agreement Building 2. So I guess this is the same.
Yeah, same thing,
Thing,
Mr.
just
Chair.
different
This is a
building.
20,000 square foot building where Wrap Industries is located. You know, I think a lot of y'all were over and toured that in the fall when they had the ribbon cutting, the big events. We're excited about the manufacturing that's going to take place there. Again, it's the same agreement as the basic agreement with the same shares that I shared on the 28,000 square foot building. So this is the last one you have to approve in between you and Mr. Miller giving you a check. So.
Okay, I will make the motion to approve the resolution approving a regional industrial facility revenue sharing agreement for the 20,000 square foot building at Project Intersection, Norton, Virginia.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Everything passed.
Great. And Mr. Chairman, I just want to quickly summarize a few things that William didn't mention. This is, I guess, our fourth stop in 2 weeks going to the member localities and kind of doing this. It's the most welcome I think William and I have ever been welcome together, at least when we've appeared in front of governing bodies. But I was sitting here thinking in 32 years of being at Lennowisco and doing this work, I've never been in front of the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors. It's also kind of a unique experience because it's the one board that I'm talking to today that doesn't have the authority to fire me. So that's also a really good thing too. But as I look at each of you, and it's just kind of coming full circle to me, just about every, Mr. Thacker, I don't believe I've had an opportunity to really work with you much, but the rest of you I have, either through our role serving on VCDA's board or in some other regional capacity. I called my dear friend Scotty Wampler with Cumberland Plateau on the way over today and talked to him for a while and told him I was coming. And the fact I can talk to Scotty, I can come meet with you all, and though I don't work directly for you all, we all have a wonderful relationship. What that boils down to is we actually finally are working as a region, not just Lennowisco, not just Cumberland Plateau, not just VCDA, but everybody together. And that's what we've talked about again in 32 years. When I first started as an intern at Lennowisco 34 years ago, I was told at that time by Ron Flannery, our purpose is to work as a region. Now, in those 32 years, I've heard a whole lot of talk about working as a region, a ton of it. A lot of times it doesn't transpire into actual results. This project is, as Mr. Wampler said, when we started off this project and brought you all on board, I remember the day I had Freddie Mullins and David Moore come walking in a room and we all started kind of negotiating and putting this together. We realized we had something special, and that was in 2017, 2018. We knew it would take a while. And Lennowisco's put money in to keep Mr. Wampler and to function with everything. And you all, as a locality, each member locality has put $5,500 in to help us do this, with the end hope that working as a region, finally, instead of just talking the talk, we would walk the walk. And so finally, by working, again, the cliche statement, we are much stronger as a whole than we are as pieces. We never would have got $30 million for Project Intersection to develop this in grant dollars. Unheard of. Friends of mine in Richmond, funders, I know Dana knows this, Larry knows this, funders will tell you, it's not going to happen anymore at that size unless you partner and work as a region. So keep that in mind as well. We've been letting all of our other localities know this. The RIFA is not stopping at Project Intersection. We're meeting, we have meetings, and let me just reiterate what William said. Larry, Dana, Sabrina, Freddie have all not just been part of the RIFA, they've been an extremely important part of it. And cannot thank them enough. And I'm proud to also call them friends, and I know William is too. But all that being said, working together, it's the first time I've been able to go in front of the other boards we've been able to go in front of that can fire me and present to them not only a check reimbursing funds, and listen, we all know right now times are tough with budgets, declining populations, everything more expensive. We all know this. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Dickinson, Wise, someone's in the paper, the next one will be sooner or later. It's just kind of how rural America is going now, not just Virginia. This model is unique because, again, working together, not only are we going to give you the $5,500 back that you so graciously gave to fund the RIFA this year, we're going to give $4,500 back on top of that. And as William said, it's certainly our hope that the spigot's going to stay open and we'll be back here. Hopefully you'll get sick of us being here. Maybe I can actually get to double digits before I retire. That's going to be really quick that I've been in Dickinson County. But again, I don't want to, I can't underscore the importance of not only returning money to the county that you've given us, but also giving additional money back to the county. And I know I said this at the Wise County Board of Supervisors a couple weeks ago. I've been in front of boards of supervisors asking for money. So there's nothing better than to actually come and not only give you your money back, but also to give you additional revenue. And again, I want to thank Dana and Larry and David and Freddie and everyone that's been part of this, as well as you all for doing this. So we have just 2 checks. Now, the one thing we've learned, and we stay out of it, is he's smart, and I just listen to what he says. And so it's usually done pretty good for me for a long time. So you all tell me which direction to hand these checks, because every locality's been a little different. But we have one check here for $5,500, and that's essentially your contribution reimbursement. We hope next year to again be able to reimburse the funds. There is an advantage of you all. You may be thinking, well, why do we give you money and then you give that back? There's an advantage to that from a cash flow standpoint, and there could be a possibility, we certainly don't anticipate and hope this doesn't occur, that there may be a year that revenue doesn't come back in for whatever reason. So, but right here's a check for $5,500 to Dickinson County from the Lonesome Pine RIFA for contribution reimbursement. So Larry, do you want me to, how about we do this? Each of you just pass that around so everybody can see it and end over there with Larry. Or if you want to give it to your attorney, Mr. Sturgill, that's fine too.
Stop at the clerk.
It says, we usually don't get no money, that's for sure.
That's unusual.
No.
Well, and that's to pay you back, and this check here is for $4,500. And as William mentioned, this is revenue sharing payment to Dickinson County. And again, we're real thankful not only to be able to give the money to you all, but to all the member localities are getting this. And as William mentioned, the city of Norton is getting 2 shares. And the agreement you all just approved. You know, if you ever were to have a RIFA project in Dickinson, Dickinson would get 2 shares and vice versa. You know, or any of our other member localities. So here is the $4,500 for that. And again, we hope to be back. And if there's anything we can do for you all, even though you can't fire me, you can yell at me. And yeah, you could fire William. We'll have to talk later. But again, thank you all, and thank you for putting up with us and for your time tonight.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come back every
Thank
minute.
you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all coming back. Appreciate all the work you did.
Thank you. Thanks for coming over here to Dickinson County.
We love it.
That was a good investment we made there.
Pretty good return on investment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good return.
Amazing.
And we've been getting money on it anyway.
Well, that was exciting.
Now we're down to
7E, the town of Clintwood, annual plan for water and sewer, fiscal year 2027. You want to do
Sure.
some background on that?
I
one?
will. Mr. Chair, members of the board, every year, of course, we're doing Town of Clintwood first. We'll have PSA next on the agenda, but the Town of Clintwood provides a project list and information on how they intend to use the money from the coal and gas road improvement taxes. According to the Code of Virginia, the Board of Supervisors has to adopt a resolution each year to approve their plan. And so the plan attached here is for fiscal year 2027. And the allocation to the town of Clintwood is estimated to be $53,450. And of course, that allocation is from the 1/4 of 3/4% of the severance that comes in, that's allocated to water and sewer projects according to the Code of Virginia. Of course, $53,450 going to them. The projects that the town of Clintwood has that they're wanting to put this towards as a match this year is going to be the Foxtown Loop water line replacement. Total cost of $203,875. Flemingtown Market water line upgrade. They're doing that for fire protection, a larger line, and hydrants, $229,850. And then the Colley Shopping Center pump station, they have some plumbing upgrades that need to be done in there, $32,000. So their total projects is $465,725. And they're wanting to apply the $53,450 that's going to come from Coal Road severance money to those projects. So what we're looking for is just an approval of this resolution, approving their plan, and of course, I will try to answer any questions that any board member may have.
I'll make a motion that we'll pass the resolution for water and sewer projects funded to use coal and gas road improvement taxes submitted by the town of Clintwood for fiscal year 2027.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? On to 7G, the coal and gas road.
F, honey.
F, oh, I'm all
It's
I'm skipping
PSA.
around now.
PSAs.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
PSA.
Mr. Chair, the 7F, of course, is PSA, the same thing we just talked about with the town of Clintwood. Of course, the PSA receives 90% of this funding. The town of Clintwood gets 10%. So the PSA amount is $480,925 is what we estimate that to be. They have submitted a lengthy list. A lot of these are repayments toward projects that they've already done, and they're trying to repay the debt service on those to various funders. I won't go into all the amounts. The amounts total that they're submitting is $869,379.07, and of course, this $480,925 is going to be a portion of that. For the public, I'll mention they have repayments for Hazel Mountain, Big Caney 2, Big Caney 3 and 4, Road Branch, Tempest Branch, Multi-Community Water, Tri-Community Water, Big Caney 5, Big Caney 5 Phase 2, Clinchco Centennial Heights Sewer, Big Caney 6, a VRA refunding debt, the Georges Fork Sewer, a Powell Valley National Bank refunding, also short-lived asset reserve, Backbone Ridge Rehab Water Project in Gilbert Drive, and then a new list on here. They're wanting to put some money towards sewer rehabilitation, as we all know. And of course, Ms. Willis is our representative for the PSA. There's a lot of, we've been working very hard with PSA to try to get funding for sewer projects. And so some of this, they're hoping to use towards a match perhaps on some of the grants that they're applying for. But they've got way more need than what the funding is. So again, we're just asking that the board approve this resolution, allowing them to use this estimated $480,925 towards these projects that are listed. So.
May I ask Shelby, where are they trying to do sewer rehabilitation at?
We still got the
Hayside.
We still got the Hayside
Hayside.
issues. We've applied for funding, or they've applied. We've assisted some, from multiple sources trying to get funding to do that with. So.
All right, so we need to,
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution for water and sewer projects funded from the use of coal and gas road improvement taxes submitted by PSA Authority for fiscal year 2027.
thank you. Have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Now can we go to 7G?
7G. Mr. Chair, members of the board, item 7G, we're asking for consideration of a resolution from the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Advisory Committee. Each year, the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Advisory Committee, that's a mouthful, meets. We met yesterday, and of course, the purpose of that meeting during budget season is to determine, how to allocate the coal and gas road funds for the upcoming fiscal year. Of course, the Code of Virginia states, the split of how the money is split, but anticipated collections are $2,850,500. And according to the formula, that means $712,500 would go to Vasita on that. And then, of course, just the two resolutions we just passed, $534,375 according to the code goes for water and sewer projects, which 90% goes to the PSA, 10% to the town of Clintwood. Then from there, everything else goes to road projects. So therefore, this year there's an appropriation to the towns of $100,000. That's for the 3 towns to be used for road projects. Also, road stabilization fund. This is where the $40,000 comes from for each supervisor within your district when you help, public roads, that's serving, 3 or more homes with gravel, drain pipe, those type of things. And then we have our road projects. Some of these are through VDOT as far as revenue sharing projects with VDOT or other road projects that the committee and the board would decide on. The balance is $1,390,000 that goes to road projects. Of course, at the meeting yesterday with the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Committee, the only project that was approved yesterday or recommended and approved by them is allocation of $50,000 to support paving for road crossings for water and sewer connections. This would be when, like the PSA in particular, and y'all are familiar, we've had a couple cases lately, the cost of paving is so expensive. When they have to do an open cut, they try to bore whenever they can, but whenever they have to do an open cut, especially with sewer lines and things, then VDOT requires them to pave 50 feet over that. So if you're taking, any of the state roads, then they've got to pave they've got to mill it down and pave 50 foot. I know one of those costs with the PSA $4,000
Yes.
recently, and I think the one before that was $3,000. Shelby, is that correct? And so that's a big burden on our citizens to have to incur that cost because there's still connection fees that the PSA charges, and then the citizen is responsible for the paving on top of that. So since these are public roadways, at the last PSA meeting or a recent PSA meeting, the PSA had come up with the thought of asking the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Committee for assistance with that to try to take the burden off of our citizens in the county. And at the meeting yesterday, it was unanimously approved for that $50,000. It could be for the town of Clintwood or the PSA. If they have a project to do that's going to pass on, they can submit to get reimbursed for that. So that's the only project we have on here. And of course, Mr. Greg Broadwater was at the meeting yesterday and presented some plans on several roads for consideration. Joey was here with VDOT, and of course, as you know, Alan Sumter, the resident engineer at the Wise Residency, has been out on FMLA recently. So Joey is waiting on him to return for the rest of the VDOT projects, and we're going to reconvene another meeting in 2 months in August. I'd have to look to get that exact date, but August 18th, that's what I was thinking. And then the committee will look again at, some additional projects and bring that back to the Board of Supervisors. But what we're asking for today is just approval of this resolution that outlines how the money would be spent. And again, the only, true project on there is this $50,000. I will attempt to answer any questions that anyone has at this time.
They got any questions? Like we got a lot more road issues and we got money.
We have a whole lot more road issues than we got money, but we have to start somewhere trying to deal with these. I think we had probably one of the most productive co-road meetings I felt like that we had ever sat through.
It was good.
Yesterday, I think good things are coming, and we're going to be able to try to help a lot of areas in the county, I think, with some of this work that's being done. So,
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution outlining the funds appropriated for the period of July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, the Dixon County Coal and Gas Road Improvement Advisory Committee in the amount of $2,850,500.
Mr. Thacker, have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Down to number 8, the fiscal year 2027 waste disposal rates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Rhonda, this is what we were talking about earlier when we did the ordinance, but during the budget workshops this year, we looked, as we look at everything, our waste contract, our solid waste contract comes up in October again for renewal. We're gonna see, or actually not well, I guess it is renewal. There's some increases that's coming up in October on that, but when we look at our rates and we compare our rates with surrounding counties, we want to try to be as cognizant of those as we can with our citizens. Of course, we do curbside garbage pickup for our citizens at no charge, but items that are brought to the transfer station, if it's household garbage, that the resident brings in, there's no charge for that. But if someone, has construction debris, they're doing work, or, yard waste, mine waste, those type of things, and we do charge for that. Our standard rate is $60 per ton for everything currently, with the exception of tires that are $80 a ton. And we are looking at doing just one change to this, and that would be mine waste to increase it by $10 a ton to $70 a ton. Of course, most of the mine waste generated, basically all the mine waste generated within the Cumberland Plateau Regional Waste Authority is Dickinson and Buchanan County. And Buchanan County is actually charging $80 a ton for their mine waste. So we're still $10 less per ton than they are, and still trying to keep all of our other rates competitive with everyone else, because we are at or less rate amount than what the other counties are on everything else. So, but that's the only proposed change, is the $10 per ton increase in mine waste.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2027 waste disposal rates to be effective as of July the 1st, 2026.
We have a second? I'll second that one. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Yeah, down to number 10, budget approval.
Number 9.
No, 9.
Did I do it again?
Solid waste and litter.
I'm trying to get out of here.
You trying to get out of here, ain't you, Chris?
Okay.
Keep him
We've
straight.
not had supper yet.
Number 9, solid waste and litter.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, item 9A, our ordinance for solid waste and litter. This is the ordinance that we just held the public hearing at 5:40 today. And as I shared at that time, and I'll repeat again, we're looking, during our budget discussions, we talked about this as well. And that would be to start charging a $36 fee for emptying the dumpsters for our governmental organizations. This is the same amount that we charge whenever we rent dumpsters for emptying those dumpsters. It's the same amount that Buchanan County charges, $36 whenever they empty dumpsters. And they do it for everybody, commercial, everybody. But we're just looking at the governmental, as Mr. Sturgill shared earlier. This does not impact county organizations that are directly funded by the Board of Supervisors, such as the schools, DSS, behavioral health, PSA. All those agencies are not impacted by this. So that is the only change to this ordinance, proposed ordinance.
Well, I think how often we go to breaks, Interstate Park and Duff
Weekly.
Just once a week?
I think so.
What about the regional jail?
It's either 2 or 3 times per week, so.
Oh, it was. DDOT, one time a week?
Weekly.
Fourth engineers,
It's weekly.
weekly. Well, I'll make
I'll
it,
answer any questions or make a question.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed solid waste and litter ordinance.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Now I'm down to 10.
Now you're down to 10, so.
10A, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, item 10A, the fiscal year 26 budget amendment. Of course, we just held a public hearing at 5:50 today on this topic. Before you have two printouts because, of course, with Mr. Hall's wife working at the Commissioner of Revenue's office, and of course, Mr. Thacker being an employee of the Sheriff's Office and being affiliated with Emergency Management, we do have multiple motions that have to be made to exclude portions of the budget so that they can vote on certain items and certain items they can't. So we kind of give you a printout here, given the different motions that would be required to adopt this budget amendment for fiscal year 26.
So you ready for number one?
Whenever.
That I make a
presented.
motion to remove the Commissioner of Revenue, the Emergency Management, and the Sheriff's budget from the general budget.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye as well.
Aye.
Now down to number 2 on the,
I'll make the motion to approve the Commissioner of Revenue's appropriation for fiscal year 26 Budget Amendment 1.
have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain from that one.
So should we?
Number 3.
I'll make the motion to approve the Emergency Management appropriation for fiscal year 26 Budget Amendment 1.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye as well.
You might need to do roll call on those, you reckon?
You can note for the record
Yeah.
that Mr. Thacker did not vote. He abstained from that vote, so.
Yeah, we don't need, do we need to do roll call for that or anything?
It's not required, but at the same time, it just needs to be made clear who's voting and who's abstaining.
Just make clear who's.
Correct.
All right, now we need a motion for the sheriffs.
I'll make the motion to approve the Sheriff's appropriation for fiscal year 26, in fiscal year 26 Budget Amendment 1.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye as well. Down to number 5, the general appropriations. Need a motion for that one.
I'll make a motion to approve the general appropriations in fiscal year 26 Budget Amendment 1 with the Commissioner of Revenue, the Emergency Management, and the Sheriff's budget removed. Should I have said the amounts?
No, you're okay on this one, we just need to state the amount. The total general fund budget amendment amount was 32 million, or the budget after amendment was 32,598,166. And the remaining portion that you're voting on right now, after those three were removed, is 28,588,717. So,
Okay.
I'll second it.
I didn't even catch those
no,
amounts.
it's fine.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Abstain.
You can vote on that one, Mr.
You can vote
Thacker.
on that one.
Aye.
Now, we'll need a motion for the fiscal year 27 budget amendment, coal and gas road improvement fund budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the FY 27 coal and gas, 26, I'm sorry. Coal and gas road improvement fund budget. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, 26.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Yeah, we need a motion to approve the fiscal year 26 budget amendment E911.
I make the motion to approve the fiscal year 26 budget amendment 1 for E911 at their budget was $1,678,025.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye as well.
That's house cleaning for 26, ain't it?
Let's get it cleaned up. We're good. Thank you Mayor, for making all the motions.
So now we gotta go through 27.
Same thing. That's a lot.
You might wanna take
I'm,
any
I'm sure
motion.
glad that they keep us straight with paperwork. or
I
what-
know, they do,
Me
they do
too.
a great job, don't they?
Yeah.
Motion to remove the,
All right.
If I could, Mr. Chair, before you vote on the fiscal year 27 budget, I'd like
Yeah.
to share for those in attendance and those that may be watching online. Of course, we held our public hearing on this budget on June the 2nd. We had a public hearing on this budget. Our total budget for fiscal year 27 is $32,046,670. And this, of course, we know the state this is $722,004 higher than last year's budget. The main difference in those was coming from additional revenue for several areas, expenses for several areas, like our regional jail, the correction and detention budget went up $290,000. Department of Social Services went up $467,000. Education went up $331,000. That was some of our large increases. So you can imagine, in order to have those increases, we had to cut in a lot of other areas to try to make up for that, because it was a very tight budget year. The state, in everything that we'd worked on up to this point, the House introduced budget and the governor's introduced budget both had a 2% salary increase. The Senate budget was 3%, but through the budget discussion, everything we were doing, everything looked like 2%. So that's what's in our budget right now, is a 2% raise. Of course, yesterday, the General Assembly approved a budget at the state level for 3.5% raise, and also a lot of changes to the school budget. So we're waiting on those numbers, and we're going to adopt our budget right now, the fiscal year 27 budget. And of course, we have a special meeting already scheduled for June the 30th, so we have our advertisement out for that, and we're advertising, do a budget amendment at that time so that we can make changes based on the state budget that was just passed. Hopefully the governor signs it by then, and things the last day of the month, and we can get everything in order as we start the new year. But I want to commend the board for all their work and dedication, because we had a lot of budget meetings this year. A lot of tough decisions had to be made. I'm very thankful that all of our staff remained. We didn't have to get to the point like some of our other counties and things that looking at reducing staff. We had some positions that did not get replaced due to retirement, but all of our staff remains. Our benefits remain to our employees. We're providing all the same services to our citizens. I think that it was tough. We really had to cut, and it's a tight budget year, but I'm proud of where we got to with budget. And if any members have any questions, I'll try to answer them before we get into to the vote on it. But I just wanted to share that we did have that public hearing for the public's sake on June the 2nd, and give a little background on the budget, what's in there and what changes have been made. So.
Thank you, Mr.
And there's no additional new positions in the budget either, so, with that, so.
I think we've balanced it 3 times now.
Many times, we think we're there, we would think
Oh,
we were
ours-
there, and then something would come up, so.
here he's at it again.
And we didn't nitpick one office over another. If everybody didn't get what they wanted or all of what they wanted, we just had to work at cutting everywhere. And we didn't say, well, we're gonna cut this one and not this one. Everybody got touched in some way, some form,
I think
everybody.
you were very fair with the way that you tried
Yes.
to approach things and look
Yes.
at it, within our internal departments and within our external
Yes,
as well.
I think we tried to be on top of all of that and not, because this is not our 5 money and Larry's money. This is you taxpayers' money that we are working with. And we want to be very
good stewards of those
We
funds.
want to be good stewards of not overspending your money and then coming back and having to raise taxes and do other stuff for you to pay for what we've done wrong. We wanna be good stewards with your money. We would not have this budget if you didn't pay taxes, or we didn't pay our taxes. There has to be, this is how we operate.
Amen, sister.
So now we'll need a motion to remove the Commissioner of Revenue from this.
I'll make a motion and remove the Commissioner of Revenue, Emergency Management, and the sheriff's budget from the general fund budget.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Now, we need a motion to approve the Commissioner of Revenue appropriation for fiscal year 27.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Commissioner of Revenue's appropriated budget for fiscal year 227 in the amount of $538,940.
Second motion.
538,000, I'm sorry.
Got a motion and a second.
940.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain from that one. We need a motion to approve emergency management appropriations.
I'll make that motion to approve emergency management appropriation in fiscal year 27 budget. That budget is $33,501. Y'all see what?
I'll second it.
All right.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
I'll abstain.
Mr. Thacker abstains. We need a motion to approve the sheriff's appropriations for 27.
I'll make that motion to approve the sheriff's appropriations for fiscal year 27's budget, and his budget is $3,269,041.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Abstain.
Thacker will abstain. Now we need a vote to approve the general appropriations for fiscal year 27. With the Commissioner of Revenue, Emergency Management, and Sheriff budgets removed.
So move.
Thank you. We have a
You already
second?
read it.
Already
You
read
did
it.
read it.
Did you second? Did we get a second?
Did she?
I made that motion, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. And now we need a motion
Make sure we're
to,
moving to, yeah, TNC now, so,
NC.
TNC for the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Fund, so. Which will still follow your next motion there, but.
Yeah, that's on the paper here, isn't it? Is that one?
Yeah, it's on the paper, it's just a new item.
I'll make a motion that we approve for the fiscal year 2027 Coal and Gas Road Improvement Fund budget in the amount of $2,850,500.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Now, 11.
10D.
10D.
911 fund.
I make a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 E911 budget. $1,075,296.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. now we're living, I'm all over the place.
Thank you all. That was a
It's a
lot
long
of
budget.
votes and motions
It's
with those
long.
two budgets there,
Yeah,
so thank you all
it's
for that.
two budgets.
All right, now we're down to
Do
appointment.
it again in a week. All right.
The Dickinson County Energy Opportunity Committee.
Mr. Chair, I know you are part of that raft and part of that committee, but if I could kind of share a little bit of background before we get started on this. Of course, the Energy Opportunity Committee is part of the raft that we mentioned earlier, that we're doing the regional, or the Resilience Adaptability Feasibility Tool. We've been doing that for quite some time now, and it's proven to be very successful for the county with the assistance that we're receiving and the feedback. I think we're accomplishing quite a bit there. But the purpose of this, we're not actually making appointments tonight on this. We're bringing to you all how this should be, what the board should be comprised of, the representatives. And what we're here to say is, we're wanting it to be, the Board of Supervisors is going to appoint people to this Energy Opportunity Committee that we had a recent presentation on. We've had a couple of presentations in recent months, the Energy Committee and the Resilience Committee. But the Energy Committee is appointed by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors, and the purpose is to ensure broad geographic, institutional, and community representation. The membership will include a county administrator or Board of Supervisors designee who would serve as chair. And this is all the recommendation right now. And that's what we're here to talk to you all about and make sure you're okay with that. That way it gives you all the opportunity. The committee, Chris is part of that committee, and the RAF team to come up with some potential names for you. And you ought to be thinking about some potential names to come back next month. But you've got a county administrator, Board of Supervisor designee serving as chair, one member of the Board of Supervisors, the building official, and the building official would serve in the role of planning. You would have the economic development director to serve, as the IDA representative. We'd want the county emergency management director
Is that
or
Richard,
coordinator, which would be Richard.
a public?
A public works member, someone
that
from
be?
engineering, facilities, engineering or facilities. We would want a representative from Dickinson County Public Schools, facilities, or a leadership representative. And we would want representatives from each of the towns of Clintwood, Clinchco, and Hayside. Then in addition, 3 citizen representatives will be appointed to reflect diverse community perspectives, including individuals with business or civic experience, community development, or environmental engagement and rural representation. And the committee would be set up so that the members would serve staggered 2-year terms with eligibility for reappointment. And also, if the board so chooses, you could appoint you could designate a non-voting staff liaison or advisory members to help support the work of the committee. And sometimes like that, when we look at, like the planning committee or something, Brenda's a member of the planning committee that takes the minutes and does things. But I think the energy committee can prove to be very useful. There's a lot of discussion going on with things and a lot of stuff moving with the energy. But we wanted to bring this list of roles, I guess, that would be serving from the different, like I said, the schools, the engineering department, this, that, and the other. So y'all could think about that, talk about that, and make sure everybody's in agreement with that. And if so, then the RAF team, the energy committee that Chris is on is the RAF team, the board, everybody can come together and come with some list of possibilities and talk to these individuals between now and the next meeting to appoint a committee for this. So, Chris, is that pretty accurate, being part of the
Yes,
energy committee? Is that what y'all been
You've done a
talking about?
fabulous job, yeah. We just trying to get a diverse group here of all the stakeholders within the county that could possibly benefit from any energy benefit packages or talks with any potential energy producers that come to the county, which is,
For instance, like if we're looking at a solar project, we've got, a couple potential solar projects in the county going on, then the board would enter into a siting agreement with them, and part of that siting agreement, there would be benefits or some community benefit stuff that you would ask for. And with a committee like this, they could work on that. They could help represent all the different sectors and help determine for the board to make suggestions and things to the board as far as what should be included and what you should be asking of that solar company to help provide community benefits and, benefits to the county as far as through taxation and things like that, so.
And that varies greatly from community to community,
What their priorities are and what they'd
So that
like
would
to
be
see.
part of this
so.
team, what do we really want? What do we want to ask for? What do we need? And kind of research a little bit, what's available from the different industries coming in.
I
Just
think
kind
it's
of
a good tool
want
for the board. I think it helps the board rather than just getting hit with something. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we do? You've got
Yeah.
people from, very diverse backgrounds that are coming together to make a recommendation to you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you all have the final decision, whatever you do, but they'll help do research and bring recommendations back to you. So,
Yeah.
this is the recommended slate of the composition of the committee. And if the board would like to see something different, then by all means, please let us know right now, and y'all decide what you'd like it to be. Dana, do you have anything as part of the raft?
Yeah, I would just like to add that from an economic development standpoint, having a committee such as this takes some of the burden off of the individuals who are working in the position, such as myself and Larry, to have to be able to be, there's so many different things that are out there right now. It's really difficult for us to be experts in every single one of those things. So having a committee such as this, especially in an area that is very important to our community and our future, I think that by having this committee and having these individuals who are going to be more subject matter experts, if you will, to be able to make these recommendations is really valuable. And I think that it will be a model that some other localities will likely want to follow.
And kind of like with the community outreach and education aspect of it, there's going to be a lot of questions from the citizens about all this stuff. So periodically, they can hold just a public
Share.
type forum thing.
Most definitely,
and
we'll try to share information out and get community input
educate
and things as
and
well, so.
take questions and kind of get ahead of all of it and don't wait till it gets here.
Correct. How does the board feel about this proposed composition? Are you okay with what's being proposed?
I think it sounds
I don't know
Any
what
changes
else you
that
could
you'd
add.
like to
good
make?
selection throughout the whole county.
I think that gives you all some time. That gives you a month to look at these, and then again, like I said, the raft team and, the energy committee that's part of the raft right now and stuff. I think we all come together with some names. It gives you all some options when it comes to that if people that are interested in serving, and then, ultimately y'all can make your decision on who you want to put on, so.
Says our environmental engagement, I would, just off my head, I would add somebody from the health department.
Right, I think so too, yeah. I think that's very important, like a Brian
Brian
or someone like
Stanley.
that to come in. And I said Brian's an excellent member on the water authority. I served with him, and I think he'd be a great addition to something like this as well, so.
Was the health department one of the listed on there?
It was
No.
No,
It
okay.
says our environmental engagement.
I think that's important when you look at projects,
Yeah.
when you look at like a solar project or something, the environmental impact and what
Environmental.
you're seeing and stuff. I think that'd be an important add to.
And what about
Yeah,
good with
maybe
that.
the extension office? How any type of
Agriculture.
energy thing
I
may
think that-
impact the agriculture, industry in the
I
county?
think that'd be good too,
She's
Dana.
got two people working there now,
Well,
Brad and Kelly.
Yeah. And this committee is probably going to meet quarterly or have,
It'll be-
not a whole lot.
not a
but it's
huge
needed.
commitment, I don't think. It's not like every month
Yeah.
they're meeting. If there's something going on, they're gonna meet more
Yeah.
than normal, but definitely quarterly meetings, I think, so,
And I think we should require them to come back
Our
and give a
public
report.
works,
correct.
what would that be like?
Public
Dennis
Works
or
would be
something?
like, it could be like Dennis from the PSA as far as Public Works in that respect or something, because again, as you look at these, it impacts, our Public Works department, so, as far as the strain of resources and things, so. So we got our list here, and we're looking at adding Extension Office and Health Department for environmental. I think that's two great adds.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all can think of? That's why we're here, and that's why we're talking about it, to see, rather than put the committee together and say, well, I wish we'd had somebody from such and such, so.
Richard, you're on it by default.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
And I think from the RAF point of view, Mr. Chairman, I think we would be able to have some recommendations back to the board within the next 3 weeks to make that a goal. That way there's a week or so ahead of the next board meeting to have that distributed to the board. Does that work?
Good idea.
That works.
Okay.
Wonderful. Like you said, hopefully this takes some of the burden off of our staff here. Becomes a
Again,
benefit.
as Mr. Cronkite said, you get subject matter experts in these areas. I don't know
Yeah.
about the environmental things that Brian Stanley knows about, and we all see things differently through a different lens, and I bring my perspective, and if others bring theirs, I think it's more education and more information for the board to make a better decision, so.
Yep.
All right, I don't think we really need a formal motion or anything on this one. We just wanted more discussion and feedback from the board on that, and I think we got that, so,
We can move on to the next one, which is basically the same thing, but different. The Dickinson County Resiliency Committee.
correct. And this is the same thing, we're here again tonight with the Resilience Committee. We had a recent presentation, I think, month before last, we got Ms. Taylor here with us today from the Resilience Committee, and, what we're looking at on that, of course, you've got your list. The Dickinson County Resilience Committee would be comprised of individuals nominated by each supervisor to ensure the same thing, geographic representation across Dickinson County. And what we're thinking on that is each supervisor would nominate up to 3 individuals to serve on the Resilience Committee. And again, we think it's important to include emergency management personnel, public and behavioral health personnel, social work personnel, individuals representing communities of faith. And then, of course, the board may also appoint a Dickinson County staff person from a relevant department as a non-voting staff liaison, with up to 5 non-voting advisory members from relevant organizations involved in resilience work in Dickinson and the region may be appointed to the board, including the American Red Cross, the Health Wagon, Cumberland Plateau Health District, Cumberland Plateau Planning District Commission, and the Appalachian Agency for Senior Citizens. And the Dickinson County Resilience Committee, the plan on that was to have 2 co-chairs, one representing the Board of Supervisors and one representing the community. And members would serve 3-year terms, staggered terms, with the option to reappoint as well, is what we were looking at on this. So we're trying to get a perspective from community and board with that co-chair, and then with recommendations here. And of course, it's a larger committee with each board member nominating, 3 individuals. So you're looking at 15, a committee of 15 plus, up to 5 non-voting members from regional organizations that we work with. So, Ms. Cronkite, you got anything to add to that?
No, I just think that this committee will be very valuable in the event of another, flood disaster or any type of thing like that. I don't know if Rachel has any more she'd like to share just with the intent and the goals of the committee. Not to put you on the spot, I'm sorry.
It's just to help coordinate all of the response teams, come up with update emergency operations plans, and it's to try to help district have a say in how or what their needs are within each district.
And I think just with the experience of the flood in 2025, I don't know that anybody could have ever be prepared for that, but during the flood, Mr. Thacker was in areas, and unfortunately, the areas that tend to flood the most frequently are areas that don't have good communication. So during that, we really didn't have a plan on how to respond from a communication standpoint. And we did the best we could, given the circumstances and communicating with Mr. Barton and Mr. Thacker. But I think that this committee will also help to be able to create some of these processes that we don't have in place, so that when there is something that happens, everybody has a role, that's a county employee and knows what they're supposed to do and how we can help.
We had a great
Right.
turnout of help in February of 25. Very grateful for all
Oh
the
my gosh, we
volunteers.
did, yes.
And I think with this committee and what we've learned since then, we're going to be even more prepared and better to respond, more quickly and deliver things more quickly to those impacted.
That's right.
I think it'd be a good idea too on this committee, to co-name this committee our local emergency management planning committee.
I think we could do that.
With the names of the people that, or the roles of the people that's going to be on this board. Say when we go to update our emergency operations plan, the LEPC, they could have an input from the community.
I think that's very important because, whenever we do that now, it's hard to get the input and hard to get the data whenever we're doing it. It's usually you and I looking like, what do we do? What do we need to change? And so I'd very much value input from this group, so.
I would too.
And I'd just like to add, Mr. Baxter, who was not able to be here today, he just texted, he's listening. And he said one thing that he would add is that the committee could be a great mechanism for some other initiatives like recovery coordination, emergency communications, and more formal state recommended initiatives like vulnerability assessments. And then he says, like exactly what Richard is saying. So you read his mind, Richard.
Okay.
All right. So does everybody feel good with that as far as, again, each of y'all would have 3 appointments, and that would give, good representation because these people also know your district and know the needs, know a lot of people in the district. If you have an event in your district, stuff, they're going to be people that's more boots on the ground, that's more oriented to that area, so I think that helps. So again, you all be thinking about it. The RAF team will think and make some proposals as well. Ultimately, next month, we'll bring all that back to you, and y'all make your decision, and we'll try to get these established, so.
I do have a question. Did we have any other groups to add? I didn't hear any that we were adding from the proposed list, right?
I did not. Did anybody have anything else on this?
Are the towns represented here any?
They're not specifically, it's more so just, from the district, so.
And then my other
We
question
could
would
add
be, would any of you like for us to have a list of recommendations as well from your district, or do you want to handle that yourself?
No, any assistance is greatly appreciated as far as.
Okay.
Yeah, because if somebody has been attending a lot of the RAF meetings, may be
Right.
interested,
Okay.
find out what districts that they're in,
Yep.
or whatever. Because,
We
see,
did,
I
I'll make
was
sure y'all's
just,
decision, but we'll give you
Yeah.
some names of people
Yeah.
that are involved in your
because I was
district, so.
thinking with my 3, it probably needs, somebody definitely needs to be in there, like from the Lick Creek area,
Mhm.
because they know how they are impacted.
Exactly, and they do get
Yeah.
hit more
Yeah.
often than other areas,
Yeah.
in your.
So somebody may already be coming to the meetings that live in that area.
Okay.
I mean, I would welcome it.
Okay. And again, we'll have these recommendations within the next 3 weeks or so to you.
Give you
Good.
time to
Wonderful.
make your decision.
Pine
so.
Creek Club.
Yeah.
All right.
Making progress in Dickinson County. All right. 11C, is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Public Service Authority, an appointment.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, of course, the PSA, we have Ms. Shelby Kennedy, who represents the Kennedy District. Her term expires July 31st, 2026. We always try to put our appointments on, the month ahead of time, so we just need to open up the floor for nominations in Ms. Willis's district, so.
What, she serves on that, right?
If
She
it's
does.
the
You wanna
pleasure of
serve?
the board, I would like to serve another term.
Let her, I
You do a great
nominate,
job, and you're a great chair of the
Shelby
PSA
can-
currently. You represent them well, so.
I nominate Shelby to.
I love that board because it's helping the citizens and you're always improving
Right,
their water and sewer.
right.
And I love to serve on that board.
You do a great job. We're blessed to have you on the board, so.
You've done a great job getting the funding the other day, too.
No, that was a board effort.
So Rhonda's
So-
nominated.
I don't take
Shelby.
credit.
Rhonda has nominated Miss Willis to serve on this board. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none. Let's see, do we have to do roll calls on these? We don't have to, just one. So, all in favor of Miss Willis continuing to serve on this board, say aye.
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 Aye as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
I took this because I didn't have anybody to serve on it. Then after I got on it, I love to serve on that board.
All right, 11D, the local coal and gas road improvement advisory committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Of course, many of you were here at yesterday's meeting. The local coal and gas road advisory committee members are appointed to review the needs of the roads throughout the county and to work closely with VDOT on prioritizing the road projects, including, paving, road widening, guardrail, consideration of roads to be made into county roads all throughout the county. And They help review and select projects to be completed each year using the budgeted funding coming from the Coal and Gas Road Improvement Fund, and priority should be given to repair and improve roads that are used to transport coal. Currently, right now, of course, we have Mr. Thacker as our chair. AC Blevins is a judge appointment, as is Jeff Newberry. They're both our citizens. And then we have VDOT representative. You have either Joey or Alan. You know, Joey's serving right now in Alan's incapacity. But the way this process works is that you as a board will need to select 3 names tonight for us to send a letter to Judge Patton, and Judge Patton will actually make the appointment. And as we make these, as we open the floor for nominations, then we generally will put them in order on the letter, like the first nomination received, kind of like we vote in the order received. So the first nomination would be the first choice of the board, second, third, you know, if they pass in that order. You know, first nomination, if it doesn't pass, it'll roll to the second. But as they're voted in that order, and of course, Mr. A.C. Blevins does a fantastic job of serving right now. He's very familiar with a lot of the roads in the county. Of course, he's in the trucking business, travels on a lot of these roads. He knows a lot of the issues on the coal haul roads. I think he brings a lot to the committee. He is willing to serve another term. I have asked him on that, and so I'll answer any questions. If not, Mr. Chair, you can open the floor for nominations and go from there.
So we need
But
3
again,
nominations,
we need
but one at a
3.
time.
We have to send
AC
one.
this time.
Well,
I'll make
you do it
a-
for the first name, second name, third name.
I'll make a motion that
Correct.
Richard Thacker
That's what I do.
continue to
All right,
serve.
so yeah, 3 different times, like
It's
first
just
name for the
AC.
list going to the judge. would
It's
be
just
first.
AC.
Yeah, I like
Is it just AC?
Just AC, yes,
Oh, I'll
ma'am.
make a motion that we appoint AC back.
This will be for our first name on the.
So that's for
list
the
of the
first
judge.
nomination. the
So we
first
vote
list.
on that one,
Correct.
and then
Yes,
go
if
to
there's no
another.
more nominations for the first name on the list, then you'll close it and vote on it.
Vote
so.
on it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the plan.
So,
You
Ms.
need
Willis.
nominations for motions closed, or?
Ms. Willis has nominated A.C. Blevins to serve on this board. Any other nominations?
Make a motion, we close nomination.
So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. So now we need to open up the floor for another nomination.
Right, this will be for the second name that goes on the
Second.
list to the judge.
And that's Jeff Newberry, correct?
No,
No,
ma'am, just
no,
term,
anybody.
it's
Just
through
the
2028
AC.
right now, so.
That appointment,
For
judge
each,
appointment.
each appointment, we have to list 3 names and the
Okay.
judge will pick. And normally, you know, normally it's usually the
Yep.
first name that's on the list, but we have to send
I
3
see.
names
Uh,
to the judge, so.
Wes Stanley's daddy's in the truck, and maybe he would be interested.
Bobby Kearns.
Bobby, Wes is Bobby Kearns' boy. Wes is Bobby
Right.
Kearns'
I should-
son.
Wes, you want
Yeah,
to, okay.
he would know a lot about trucking and stuff.
So you
I don't know if
nominate-
he'd want to do it or not, though, but he would know a lot.
So you're
I'm gonna nominate.
Wes Staley.
Yeah, but he'll probably, he might whoop me.
Ms. Luss has nominated Wes Staley. Any other nominations?
How about Ben McFall?
It would be a good name.
Yep.
You can do that, or you can leave it till the third name, ever how you want to do it, so.
You want to put him in with Wes, or you
Or
want to?
second.
We got to have 3 separate.
We gotta have 3 7, okay, that's fine.
Well, we just do Ben McFall. Judge gonna pick A.C. Blevins anyway.
But we still got to go through the
Well, we'll
motions.
just nominate Ben then. I nominate Ben.
Are you removing
She'll
Wes?
She'll
No, I'm
nominate
removing
Ben.
Wes. Let her nominate.
Let's vote
somebody.
on Wes, and
Okay.
then we'll go through another one, if that's okay with the board. Well,
So
any other
you're
nominations for
presenting
Wes?
3 names to the judge,
But
correct?
he's gonna
Correct,
pick
and
A.C.
we're gonna list them, Ms. Willis, as the first choice of the board, second, the third, and so AC is our number 1 slot, and then we're looking for the number 2 slot right now.
Ms. Luss has nominated Wes for the number 2 slot.
All right, I can withdraw my nomination and nominate
Oh,
Ben
that's all
McFall.
right, we can put him down.
I haven't asked him, so that's the only thing I would be concerned about.
Well, I don't know if we've asked
He
him
can
about
I
it.
never thought about it being 3. I forgot
Yeah,
about
ask
doing
AC,
that.
make sure he will serve
ELAC
again,
said he
so.
would serve again.
All right, so Ms.
He
Willis,
he made some good points yesterday.
He's a good member.
we're nominating Wes. You
Yeah, I'll
do?
nominate
Okay.
Wes.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Wes Staley, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. And we need, open the floor for one more nomination.
Correct.
I nominate Ben McFalls. That's the third one.
Miss Willis is
If he got it,
nominated
he'd be a good one.
Ben McFall. Any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Ben McFall, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. We'll take care of that one. Now, we're down to number 12, revision of funds. Mr. Barton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Of course, these are some housekeeping items we have on the end of our agenda here each year as we look at closing out the fiscal year. Once the year closes, unspent funds within the budget, the different categories of the budget, they get moved back to the general fund. They get rolled into the general fund. So, the reversion of funds is something that the county does at the close of each fiscal year. And the board directs the county treasurer to revert the unexpended balances of all funds to which the general fund has been transferred, sums in support of appropriations to the general fund at June 30th, 2026, which include, all the funds under that. So basically, we just need a motion to approve the reversion of funds. And again, that's a housekeeping item. If there's unspent funds in the budget, they don't automatically carry over to that department. They go back just to general. And of course, I will mention also, separate from this, each year at the school, we generally allow them to carry funds over. So at the end of the year, before June 30th, they will bring us a letter with what their balances are, and then we'll bring that to you at your July meeting to allow them to carry them over. But that's how that works. But everything kind of rolls into general, and then we allow the school to carry those forward by letter. So
I'll make a motion that we approve the reversion of funds.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I started to ask, do you experience any over budgeted expenses?
Yeah.
we do, yes.
Yeah, there's some that's not spent.
Yeah, there's some that's not spent, and then there's some in some departments are overspent.
Correct.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye as well. Number 13, approval of expenditures through June 30th, 2026.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, again, a housekeeping item, something that we asked the board to do at the last meeting of each fiscal year. Of course, today's June 23rd. We've still got a week left in the fiscal year, and there will be some things that still have to be paid as we close out the year. We've still got some line item appropriation to some departments that have not been fully paid out that we'll have to pay. And the board always approves the expenditures through June 30th. And of course, what I will do is I always do anything that's paid that we do pay, we will send a copy of the check register out to you all for your information. And if there are any questions or concerns, then please reach out to me on those, and we will hold those and take those up at a later time. But it just allows us to finalize everything for the year end, being as though that there's still a week left in the year before we close out. So I'll answer any questions that anyone has on that.
I'll make a motion that we allow the county administrator to make any payments and expenditures from June the 24th through the 30th of June.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Down to 14 on the leases. 14A, Cumberland Pine Mountain Trail Riders.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, a couple of months ago, Mr. Carlos Stanley with the Cumberland Pine Mountain Trail Riders reached out and had asked for a long-term lease. Right now we lease, property from the Corps of Engineers, and then we turn around and lease that same property to the trail riders that they use where the riding rink is down there, where they do the horse shows, as well as the former soccer field that we lease to them. And of course, as we all know, they've had, a big goal of trying to connect those properties. They're looking at trying to do a bridge or do something so that they can combine those properties together to host bigger shows and more events. And it does bring a lot of tourism to the county, a lot of people to the county from a big area, these shows that they do. And They have been working diligently, reestablishing their nonprofit. They are they're actually working with an engineer right now, and they are working to apply for some grant funding to try to get some assistance with making improvements there. But to do so, they're needing more than just a year-to-year lease. They're needing a longer-term lease in order to qualify for grant funding. And, when we reach out to Mr. Sturgill, a 20-year lease wasn't possible because their lease with the Corps of Engineers runs through 2031. So Mr. Sturgill updated the lease that we currently have to go through the period that we have the land lease to the Corps of Engineers. And Mr. Carlos Stanley told me that would definitely be a benefit to them, anything more than that 1 year. So we're here asking that you approve the lease before you, which is the same lease that we've been using, for through this 2031 period to allow them to be able to apply for grant funding.
I make a motion that we approve the lease with the Cumberland Pine Mountain Trail Riders for 5 years. You second it, Chris, that's you.
Yeah, I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Well, who say that name?
Polystyrene.
Joe had me read some Bible, the Old Testament Bible last Wednesday. Well, there's some names in there I couldn't get. I had to guess at them. Sometimes I skip over those. They're rough. How you say that, Larry?
Polystyrene.
Is that what?
Polystyrene.
15. I think we got some regulations that we got to
We
attend
do.
to.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, if you'll recall, General Assembly passed legislation in 21, made some changes in 23 to that, kind of accelerating the time frame. But they are looking at banning the use of polystyrene, which is basically styrofoam, in retail food establishments. Last year, it went into effect July 1st of 25 for food vendors with 20 or more locations. This July 1st is going to be all remaining food vendors must comply with this polystyrene ban. And of course, the way the code's written, it does give the governing body, the Board of Supervisors, the ability to grant a waiver on this. And of course, you can grant a waiver if a food vendor has no reasonable alternative, or if compliance with this subsection would cause significant economic hardship. And you can issue a waiver, the locality can issue a waiver for a period not to exceed more than 1 year. And so the Dickinson County Public Schools had reached out to us last week, and they provided the letter that's in your packet asking for a 1 year waiver. It states that they are part of the Sam's Co-op and have been exploring and testing products to comply with this ban. We are not prepared at this time to start using a substitute for the styrofoam foam trays and containers. They have found a few reasonable alternatives to the food service containers currently used, such as 5-compartment trays. We will use these trays with students after we deplete the ones we still have in inventory. And then this year, it says that Sam's Co-op went out to bid, and due to rising fuel costs and the recent Middle East conflict, pricing for alternative 3-compartment to-go trays has nearly doubled, and compliance would cause significant economic hardship to our program. So they're asking that the Board of Supervisors grant them a 1 year waiver to this ban. And from conversations I've had with Ms. Compton, the food service director, they feel like by this time next year they can deplete their current inventory that they have right now, and they can find a more reasonably priced alternative to be in compliance starting this time next year. So,
I mean, like Food City's gonna have to stop doing that?
yes, and they have already changed theirs. They're no
What do
longer.
they put it in?
It's a
Paper?
paper-based container.
Well, I know the schools just use them sometimes if their dishwasher goes out.
Most of the time, that's what it is. For a staffing issue or a water issue or a dishwasher issue or something, they'll change over. And they do have a few, like bowls with lids and some things that they use sometimes that are styrofoam and stuff that they're, looking for those alternatives to, so.
I had my health department inspection last week, and I was told, you're gonna have to comply with this. I said, oh, I just bought a bunch.
Really?
So-
Why are they gonna give you time to get rid of them?
Well, I think he might, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to buy
You
them
come to
too.
board and ask for a waiver.
No. I don't have that many on hand. I think I probably got about 150, but
Well, what, you gonna use paper then?
I guess I have to, because I always, or,
They don't cost
Plastic
more.
ones you could-
or tell people that I cater for that I'm not providing to-go trays. I mean, that's how much I
We use
know.
them in
Buy it
church,
or-
at church too. We have been, we feed
Yeah.
people that don't have,
Yeah.
can't stick,
Yeah, but this applies to retail food establishments, so I
So
don't
it
think
wouldn't be
it
a
would apply
church.
to church.
As long as you ain't selling.
Yeah.
Huh?
As long as you're not selling.
We're not selling.
Mr. Chair, I'll try to answer any questions anyone has on this, and if not, we'll consider a vote to allow this exemption.
Anyone like to make a motion for this waiver?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for this waiver for a year.
Motion.
I'll second it. Richard seconded it. Fine.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
Motion.
16, closed meeting. We need a motion to go into close.
I make a motion that we go into closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1, A, Personnel 1, I, all departments including solid waste.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. We need certifications for the closed meeting.
You ready?
Yeah.
I make a motion that whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors that a closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby certify that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies. And only such public business matters as identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? So I need to do a roll call on this one. Ms. Kaiser?
Aye.
Ms. Sluss?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Thacker?
Aye.
Aye as well. Now
Peggy,
we're
have you got
out
that
of close.
thing to,
Yeah.
for the
Did you
matters?
want it or you want me to do it?
Wait, just, no, go ahead.
Got another one or so.
You go down to matters to.
Yep. 18, matters discussed in closed meeting.
I would like to make a motion that the Board of Supervisors accept the interview committee's recommendation for hiring the part-time solid waste position and authorize the county administrator to extend a conditional offer of employment.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Supervisor comments. Ms. Kaiser?
Ooh. Just glad that everybody, for the few that we had that has come out tonight, and appreciate everybody coming. I know we've been working hard for the last 2-3 months on this budget to get the state to throw a snag in it. We gotta make some adjustments and stuff, but you know, we just want to be good stewards. We want to spend the taxpayers' money that you pay to the county in the best possible way that benefits everybody. We just hope that all of you all understand that and support us for that. Appreciate everybody that lives in this county. Appreciate everything that everybody does and the good that there's a lot of good people out there trying to do good for the county, and appreciate that. Appreciate the tennis team for coming out tonight. Very proud of them for a 22-0 win through the state. Done a good job. When my granddaughter was in high school, she played tennis with them, but just appreciate everybody. 4th of July is coming up. 250th year coming up for the United States, and everybody just get out and celebrate, but celebrate in the right manner, I guess. Safety. Appreciate all my board members, appreciate Larry, appreciate Brenna for what everybody does, Adam for coming out here and keeping us live streamed so people can watch us. Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think I can add anything to what she
Ms. Sluss,
said.
you took all of it.
She took all my thunder.
I wasn't even prepared thinking either. I just came off my head.
She stole my thunder, but I do wish everybody a happy July the 4th and be safe. And I'm so proud to be an American,
Yeah.
to live in America. Yeah, we have problems, but it's a wonderful place to live. And I thank God, I pray every night, God bless America. And help our people. I'm so proud to be an American, and I'm so thankful for those who died that we might be free. or was hurt or served in any capacity. He did send us a letter about the tennis team. It says, I won't read it all, but it says, to properly commemorate this historic season, I hope to provide championship rings for our players and coaches. While these rings serve as a lasting symbol of an undefeated season, the state championship covering the associated cause presents a significant financial challenge for our program. I think it's going to cost, if I understand right, $3,000 or $4,000. So if any of you, it says, thank you for your time and consideration. Your support would play a meaningful role in honoring a truly special group of young ladies. Mr. signed Adam Smith, who is the coach, and y'all can consider that, and those out there listening to us as well. And I say, God, thank you. Peggy, she stole everything I had to say. She must have been
I'll
reading
let
my
you go
mind.
first next time.
She must have been reading my mind.
Great minds think alike.
That's right.
Yes,
Good
well.
cliche.
I don't know what to say, other than to thank everyone for their prayers for what my husband and I have been through, still going through. And Amber, y'all talking about 4th of July, Amber's told him that he cannot get out of the house 4th of July. He was in the hospital for Thanksgiving, and then again in the hospital for Memorial Day weekend. So Amber tells him he cannot get out of the house for the 4th of July. So anyway, I appreciate everyone letting me call in last week or last month, and I just appreciate all my board members, and I appreciate Larry, Will, Adam, Brianna, and I appreciate all my people that I have to work with. And I appreciate your prayers and your help.
I too want to thank everybody, Larry, Brianna, Adam, Will, the board, all my fellow board members. I don't know, we're blessed in this county. We've got people that, on this board that's very, very concerned with everybody's money, and we try our best to make sure that it's spent on the right things. And hate that we had to cut everybody, during the budget cycle, but that's just the way things are in a small county. Everybody's gonna put in for more than what they need, probably hoping to get what they need. And that's what we tried to do, give everybody what they had to operate. But unlike Shelby, I had to miss the last meeting. I hate to miss a meeting, but my wife was in ICU. And when she came out of ICU, I went down the hall to go to her regular room. I looked across the hall, and there was Shelby and her husband, and straight across the hall.
We were straight across.
So I got to go see them.
I went in and met his wife. She's real sweet.
But thanks for the prayers, the prayer chains from the church.
Yeah.
All the churches that put my wife on the prayer chain, and all the prayers for her. I just thank everybody in our county. And the tennis team that come up here, that record is unbelievable.
Yeah, it
I'm
is
so proud of
unbelievable.
them girls. That was amazing. But that's all I've got, I guess.
Thank you. So all of you stole everything I was gonna say.
He's crying, look at him.
That was tough. But I'm glad your all spouses are
Bring every tear,
okay.
that's
I
a
mean,
lot,
that's a scary time. It's hard to watch
I
the
still
loved
got
ones.
8
It's been
more
hard.
weeks,
You
or
never
12
go
more
through
weeks,
that.
I believe. Well, no, we got 8. We got 4 down. We got 12 weeks altogether. We got 4 down.
Long recovery.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But I too would like to congratulate the tennis team. That was a great season. I mean, that was awesome. And I'd like to also recognize Reba, one of our part-time workers
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of helped Mr. Barton here with a lot of duties around. She's retired and kind of left Larry without
We're gonna miss her,
the.
that's for sure.
Larry
so.
will definitely miss
Yeah,
Reba.
Definitely miss Reba.
So we appreciate
She's the
everything
best.
that she done for the county behind the scenes, and we will miss you. And the 4th of July, yeah, everybody come out, participate, celebrate 250 years in the wonderful God bless country. And it's just amazing that the freedoms that we have, and, you know, let's not take them for granted. We need to hold on to them with everything we got. And I too would like to thank everybody for another good board meeting, and all the staff. And anytime you drive by here, Larry's probably working. I don't think he might have a bed down here, so.
He's probably got one, he ain't.
He sacrifices a lot for his job, so we appreciate him. So, with that, I'll hush and we'll get out of here. We need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.